Right, greetings everybody. Robin here from Courage is the Cure. It is indeed New Year's Eve for 2023, heading into 2024. Why don't we start this special video with a video that has brought me joy every time I've popped it on this year. Let's have a bit of a go at this.
Time to check in with our lizard overlords in Davos, Switzerland. What are they up to? Well, this. Thank you for watching. Yeah, those people run the world. They're so impressive. What a bunch of freaks. Hearing them.
What a bunch of freaks indeed. Oh, well. Praise the Lord, Tucker is no longer on Fox. But yeah, these overlords who think they run us, they certainly are a bunch of freaks. So it is, as I said, New Year's Eve, and I have been reflecting on 2023. What are the lessons that I have learnt this year? And one of the things I have learnt, which came as quite the surprise, is that I was actually offered some opportunities and some incentives. And I just wasn't aware of them. So we've got a couple of videos just to prove the point. And it's got nothing to do with memory holding, of course. This is about opportunity. So these are the lessons. This is the lesson I learnt this year. So this is the first one. This is Lockstep in action. This is the Prime Minister or previous Prime Minister of Australia, Scott Morrison, back in March of 2023. Let's just have a look at what he had to say here, everybody.
Seeking to try and move on. I don't regret the need to have a country vaccinated. Yeah. That was incredibly important. And it was really hard. It was very challenging. But when it comes to the mandates, well, there was, other than, as I said, in those cases of, medically sensitive, publicly facing occupations in aged care and so on, the federal government did not support any other mandate at all. I can also say this, that the expert medical panel that guided.
Who cares about the expert medical panel? We know what he's going to say. So he didn't support mandates. Okay, so as I said, that was Scott Morrison back in March of 2023, our 30th Prime Minister. And then, of course, we had, who's next on the list in April? So we've gone March. Now let's go to April 2023. And it is Mr. Turdo. Here we go.
Responsibility was to keep as many Canadians alive as possible. And all of the scientists and the medical experts and the researchers, not just in Canada, but around the world, understood that vaccination was going to be the way through this. And therefore, while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated, I chose to make sure that all the incentives and all the protections were there to encourage Canadians to get vaccinated. And that's exactly what
incentives and protections.
They did. We got vaccinated to a higher level than just about any other of our peer countries. And that's why we...
Oh, is that such a thing to be proud of? Somebody, one of my watchers sent me this, Mr. Turdo. So again, that was April of 2023. Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, another one of the Five Eye Nations in Lockstep, educating me, learning a new lesson in 2023 that nobody was mandated. There were incentives created for people like me and protections. So we've had March, Scott Morrison, April, Mr. Turdo. Now we're going to move on to August of 2023. Now, we did have we had Pfizer in a Senate inquiry here in Australia, and the leader of One Nation Party, Pauline Hanson, did question, what's this gentleman's name? Dr. Brian Hewitt. And he is the head of the regulatory sciences for Pfizer here in Australia, Dr. Brian Hewitt. Here is Pauline Hanson questioning him in the Senate inquiry in August. Here we go, everyone.
A comment that no one was forced to have the vaccination. Who made the comment? Was it Dr. Thurin?
Senator, I believe I made that comment.
You made that comment? Right. Mm-hmm. You were in Australia during COVID-19. You must have been fully aware that people, nurses, doctors, people to have their jobs, to keep their jobs, were forced to have the vaccination. Now, do you retract your statement that they were not forced?
Senator, no, I believe firmly that nobody was forced to have a vaccine. Mandates or vaccine requirements are determined by governments and health authorities. I believe everybody was offered an opportunity to get a vaccine or not get a vaccine. I don't believe that anybody was forced to take a vaccine.
A lot of Australians will disagree with you on that one.
Yes, Pauline, you're wrong there, Miss Pauline Hanson. We were given an opportunity, weren't we? Incentives and protections, as we've seen Scott Morrison, Turdo, and now Dr. Brian Hewitt say. And we do have also from another Five Eye Nation, moving down to September, the Prime Minister at the time in New Zealand, Chris Hipkins, who filled the job after Ardern, Miss Horseface, left because she didn't have any left in the tank, apparently. Chris Hipkins has also added his part to this conversation. Here we go.
Time for people, but they ultimately made their own choices. There was no compulsory vaccination. People made their own choices.
The government is planning to require every single teacher at every level and all support staff who work with children to be vaccinated.
There was no compulsory vaccination.
Newshub can reveal the mandate Chris Hipkins is taking to Cabinet on Monday is a mighty big stick. Every educator who works with a child will have to be vaccinated.
People made their own choices.
I can now confirm that we'll be extending this requirement to large parts of our health and education workforces as well.
There was no compulsory vaccination.
Cabinet's agreed.
So there we go, everybody. They are the lesson. Well, that's the lesson, one of the lessons I have learnt this year, and that is that nobody was mandated. Everybody was given an opportunity, incentives and protections for the spicy needles. So that was March, April, August and September of 2023 from Australia, Canada, also Australia from speaking to Pfizer, Dr. Hewitt from Pfizer, and New Zealand as well. Just amazing when you look back and you reflect on the year. Nothing to do with memory holding, nothing to do with lockstep, some of these Five Eye Nations, it's opportunity, incentives and protections. Isn't it wonderful, everybody? What a great lesson to learn in 2023. Thank you all for educating me. So I haven't been very active on YouTube this year. That's because I'm living over on Rumble. So please come along to Courage is the Cure on Rumble. This year I've interviewed some fantastic people. I've interviewed Buck Angel, an original transsexual who's having none of this social contagion with this new phenomena of transsexuals. Amazing interview. Stefan from Sanity for Sweden was another highlight for me. Jennifer Tsung, independent journalist. She was held in a gulag in China and just an amazing lady. Our interview, we talked about China being the greatest threat to the globe. Also, Dr. Sunil Dand, phenomenal doctor, not quiet about the gagging of doctors and the over-medicalisation of people around the globe. Also, Mark Devlin, talking about the nefarious nature of the music industry. And David Thrussell, we had a great conversation about fifth generational warfare. So that's on Courage is a Cure on Rumble, because on YouTube, there's community standards, and I don't fit in with those community standards. So please come along to Courage is the Cure on Rumble, and you can see all of those wonderful interviews. So that is my New Year's video. I just want to have a big shout out to my supporters for Courage is a Cure, because I couldn't do this without you. Q1, Gary, Miss Slattery, Holly, Kerry Lynn, Murray, Pilo, Jan M, Jan Duffy, Craig, Robert, Christine, Leo, Kate, Terry, Margaret, Lorraine, Linda, Jody and Mel, Stuart, and of course, Michael Griffith. So thank you all very much for your support. As I said, I couldn't do it without you. Watch out for 2024. I'm sure there's going to be many more opportunities, incentives and protections coming your way. Nothing to do with Lockstep or anything like that. It's all gifts and opportunities to all of us. So I just want to say Happy New Year, everybody. Watch out for the opportunities. Fear is the virus, courage is the cure, and please come and join me on Rumble. That's it for 2023, everyone. Don't forget, no one was mandated. See you guys.